Yesterday, Democratic and Republican Party leaders complained to the election board that duplication of voter registration names were coming through. It seems that some of the names had been slipping through these machines. It looked as if the county might have troubles, according to some reports. Today, I talked with tax assessor collector Ben Gentle about the situation.
The main factor is that we send out the applications with their tax statement in October. And they'll go ahead and register at that particular time. Then in January, when we come back and start the big drive, they forget about having registered last October, and they'll register again for 5068.
Overall, what percentage do we have of duplication?
It'll be less than 2%.
I want you to know that I'll do everything I can within my power to block the nomination of Senator Robert Kennedy as the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. His governmental philosophy are entirely opposite to those of mine. I'm a Democrat, and I've always voted the Democratic ticket, and I'm going to honor my party's pledge, but I do not believe in the policies of Kennedy, and I would not support his policies.
Through the 66 season, he was a straightaway hitter, and I think the secret of his success in 67 was his ability to handle the ball inside and become a pull hitter, because this is the ball that hurts any a hitter that moves the ball around is the ball inside. I was an opposite field hitter down the middle, and the ball inside would bother me. This is a ball that bothered him, and all of a sudden he became a pull hitter. This ball he was hitting through the middle left field, he started hitting 44 times for home runs. So I believe that this is the thing that made him the great hitter. But he's a great player, and they said, well, does he have to hit 350 again to be a star? He is a star. If he hits 210, he's still a great ball player.
I don't believe communism has any attraction to Africans. The Africans have their own ways of expressing their problems. They believe the solutions to their problems must be essentially African, not communist or necessarily capitalistic.
There's a great deal of concern in this country that every time we have a major killing or riot or assassination, that we are made to look like a nation of killers. Are we getting that type of image abroad?
Well, it could be my considered opinion that, well, assassinations of this kind, of course, do not help at all the image of any nation abroad. But I wouldn't accept that one or two incidents, however important and grave as these might be, should label a whole nation as a nation of assassins or killers. I wouldn't accept that theory at all.
recent poll indicates that Wagner Carr and Don Yarborough are leading. This is the Hooper poll I'm referring to. Other polls have indicated you and Yarborough in a runoff. How much stock do you put in these polls?
I pay very little attention to polls. In 1962, the poll that was given in my race for lieutenant governor showed me running behind a candidate, one fellow that wasn't even a candidate 2 weeks before the primary. In other words, I was running sixth in a five-man race. And then in the runoff, the same poll showed me being tremendously defeated by my opponent, and yet I defeated my opponent rather handsomely. So it just depends on who is contacted in a poll. I have no reliance whatever on polls.
2% being, maybe 300,000 or so?
No, there won't be that many. We'll have 466,000. We won't have over. Probably if we go through there this time, which we're going to do, we'll probably get out maybe 2,000 out of the list. 460,000. That's all, Carl. There's no big problem. I'm not worried. There's no conspiracy involved at all. It's just the idea of people registering over a 4-month period, they forget that they've already registered.
So the problem of duplication is not as big as it first seemed. The answer apparently lies here in this room with these computers, and at almost no cost. A simple reprogramming of these machines should help solve the situation. So although voter duplication is nothing new, it apparently seems that the questions raised by the political parties is nothing more than election year fever. Carl Mayo, Channel 8 News.
We normally think of beautification as something that everybody's for, but is it true that there are some tax structures that actually work against fix up and clean up?
Right, they do, Teal. There are some, I know one state in particular, that if you paint your home, they regard this as property improvement, not property maintenance, and therefore you are subject to a reevaluation or reassessment of your property insofar as new taxes. Many cities have the same thing, where the tax assessor regards on a very fine line what property maintenance and property improvement is. The net result is it has a depressing effect, because if you screen in a porch, or if you put in new downspouts and gutters, or this sort of thing, they regard this as property improvement and not maintenance. And so that any beautification program that is involved in the city, one of the first things you have to do, get a decision on